Want to ruin a batch of spiced mead? Just dump spices into primary. That's where most people go wrong. Before we dive in, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps me keep producing meaningful mead making content and sharing these lessons with others in the community. Now let's jump in. They treat spice like fruit, but spice isn't fruit. Spice extracts fast. It turns bitter into alcohol, and it doesn't mellow over time the way fruit does. Clove, cinnamon, nutmeg, these are potent volatile compounds. In high ABV must, they don't dissolve slowly and gently. They hit hard, and if you leave them in too long or add them too early, you don't get balance. You get burn, astringency, muddy flavors, and haze that just won't drop. Metheglin is one of the most misunderstood mead styles out there. People assume it's just mead with spice, but it's not that simple. Metheglin isn't about masking mead, it's about exposing the mead maker's technique. Because spice doesn't cover flaws, it amplifies them. So here's the truth. If you treat spice like fruit, your metheglin will fight back. Now, let's talk about how to avoid that and how to build a metheglin that actually works. Let's say you want to make a vanilla cinnamon metheglin. You want warm spice notes, a honey-forward nose, and maybe a soft dessert-like finish. It starts with your must. You want a good structure, something that can carry spice without getting buried. A common target is around 1120 original gravity. That gives you body, residual sugar, and mouthfeel. Final gravity, somewhere around 1020, will usually balance the ethanol and support the spice. Why those numbers? Because spice brings sharpness. You need sugar to cushion it. Too dry, you're exposing all the harsh edges. Too sweet, it turns into syrup. That 1020 finish point is a sweet spot, pun intended. As for yeast, use something clean, neutral, fast. I like Kveik Lutra. It's a great option. It won't throw esters that compete with your spices, and it finishes quick, often under a week with the right temps. That gives you more control over when and how to layer your spiced infusion. And don't overlook the water. This part matters more than most new mead makers realize. Use RO water or filtered water at a minimum. Chlorine, chloramine, or off minerals can react with spices, dull your aromatic, and leave you with off flavors that no amount of technique can fix. Now let's talk about when to add spice. And this is the part most people skip or overlook. Instead of adding cinnamon sticks or vanilla beans into primary, where fermentation is active, temperatures are high. The ethanol is forming. Wait until fermentation is complete. Because fermentation is a chaotic environment. Carbon dioxide scrubbing off volatile aromatic. Yeast is metabolizing everything it can touch. Ethanol is increasing by the hour. And your spices, they're just getting beat up in the process. So what's the alternative? Treat your spices like tea, literally. Steep them in hot but not boiling water. For a 5-gallon batch, 3 cinnamon sticks and 1 split vanilla bean is a good place to start. Put them in a sanitized container and pour over about 2 or 3 cups of RO or filtered water at 160 to 170 degrees Fahrenheit and let it steep for about 10 to 15 minutes. Why hot water and not alcohol? Because hot water pulls flavor gently and evenly. Alcohol extracts differently. It's harsher. And the longer you leave spices in alcohol, the more tannic and bitter it gets. By steeping in water, you avoid that. You extract the aromatics without the bite. After steeping, cool that liquid down and only add then. Add it to your finished stabilized mead. And here's a quick note on vanilla. While you could steep split vanilla beans in hot water post-fermentation, some mead makers prefer to use vodka-based or Everclear-based tinctures instead. This allows more control over the dosage and intensity. Either method works. The key is adding it after fermentation when you could taste, test, and tweak. At this point, you have full control and you could taste it as you go. You can add more if needed, and most importantly, you're not locked into the results of a fermentation that started with too much clove or the entire stick of cinnamon floating in the must for 3 weeks. And here's the payoff. What you get is a clear, stable metheglin that presents in layers. Honey up front, warm cinnamon across the mid-palate, and a soft, elegant vanilla on the finish. Not murky, not harsh, not a spice bomb. Just smooth, intentional balance. And that's what metheglin should be. A style that enhances honey, not hides it. Now let's recap the key points because every step matters. First, spice is not fruit. Don't treat it like it is. Second, build a must that supports the spice. 1120 OG, 1020 FG. Third, choose clean yeast. Avoid esters that interfere. Fourth, use RO or filtered water. Bad water ruins good mead. 5th, steep spices in hot water, not alcohol. 6th, add spice after fermentation when you're in control. 7th, if you want precision with ingredients like vanilla, consider tinctures. This approach saves time, it protects flavors, and it can save you from wasting a lot of expensive honey. Because let's face it, good honey isn't cheap. Ruin a batch with too much clove, and you're not just losing time, you're losing money. So if you ever ended up with a mead that tastes more like potpourri than poetry, now you know why. Spice can elevate your mead or destroy it. It all comes down to how and when you use it. Do you want more breakdowns like this? Techniques that can save you time, protect your investment, and help you make better mead every time? Make sure to subscribe and drop a comment. What's the worst spice mistake you've made in a mead? Or what spice combination are you thinking about trying next? Let's turn Metheglin from a risk into a masterpiece. Until the next video, happy mead making.